Hi everyone, today we are going to look at my travel watercolor set. It's a watercolor set of 50 colors, 50 half pens in this old colored pencil box, and it's like that. It has this white mixing space and the half pans. For some people, 50 watercolors in a travel set is a lot, but I like variety, even though I usually just work with 3 colors, like triads, like Queen Gold, Burnt Sienna, and Ultramarine Blue, and other also. I like to have a variety to choose from. So one of my hobbies with watercolor is to create sets, and this is one of them. You'll see most are earthstones, which I like, and I also of course paint landscapes, and also some other colors for mixing. So again, I will show you. It's this one and this. So I will do some swatches over the colors. So let's start with the buff titanium. It's made of pigment PW6 column 1. It's really good for urban sketching, or to put opaque cream white at the end of the painting, like gouache. It's very opaque color and very granulating. Next color is lemon yellow. Daniel Smith lemon yellow is made of PY 175. I think that it's the best lemon yellow I know. It's very beautiful with Pearly Green and with the Ultramarine, and also with Oxide Genuine to create beautiful greens. It's very bright. Next is Nickel Azo Yellow, a very good color for mixing. It's a very bright and staining color. And it's a part of many convenience colors. It's PY 150. It's really great color. Next color is Quinacridone Gold. Quinacridone Gold is made of 2 pigments, PY 150 that is on the left, and PO 48 that we look at later. This is a very useful color. And I use it usually as the yellow color in a triad. Next color is Hansa Yellow Dip. It's a bit bright, deep yellow or warm yellow. I like to put some brushes of it in the middle of the landscape to put more brightness to the muted colors that I usually use, like earth tones and so on. Pyro Scarlet is semi-opaque. It is made of PR255. It's also a color that I like to put at the middle of the landscape to put some brightness. And I also like to mix some oranges from it. Very bright oranges. Queen Coral. Queen Coral is a very versatile color. It is both cool and both warm. It is warm when it's full strength, but has undertones of coolness. And you can see it here. If I put it full strength, it's warm. And when it's diluted, it's cold, it's cool. It is half the color of Queen Sienna of Daniel Smith. The other colors there are Queen Gold of pigments PY150 and PO48. And it's a wonderful color. I really like Queen Sienna. I use Queen Corals for florals and other things, also for mixings. Okay, this is a Pyro Red. Many people use it as a mid-tone red, mid-range red, or as the warm red. I like to use it for florals. It's also semi-opaque and it's very bright. Deep Scarlet is a color I really like. It's nice because it's a series 1, so it's not expensive compared to other colors. And it's an earthy red. I like to work with it in a triad. I work with French Ultramarine of Ultramarine Blue, with this color, Deep Scarlet PR175, and with Queen Rose or Nickel Azure Yellow. It's really great. Next color is Quinacridone Gold, also a very useful color, a mixing color. And I use it for florals and also mixing other colors. It's PV19. PV19 is very flexible color. There are many kinds of PV19s. I think that here we look at 2 of them. It can be very bright because it's a quinacridone. It's a quiet, forgot the name of it in English, I will remember later. This PV19 is very pink and I like it a lot. I use it a lot. Okay, Permanent Red Violet is another kind of PV19. It's a rembrandt color. It's the only Rembrandt color that I have. And it's more violet-y than the Queen Rose. It's a very useful mixing color. Cerulean Violet is also a very useful color. I use it for shadows in florals and in animal paintings, and also as a good mixing color like with Cerulean Green or with sodalite to create darks. Ultramarine Violet of Daniel Smith is PV 15. I forgot to say Cerulean Violet is PV 29. Ultramarine Violet is PV 15. It's usually hard to re-rate, but today it's okay. I like to mix it with Cobalt Blue to create interesting or mystic blue violets. It's also a very granulating violet. Carbazole violet is a very strong color. You can see it here. It has a really high tinting strength. It can be almost dark as black. And it's a very, very useful mixing color. Indantron Blue, PB 60. I forgot to say Carbazole Violet is PV 23. Indantron Blue is PB 60. Daniel Smith one is a bit grayish, but I like it more than the others because of this grayishness. Others are a little bit more bright. It's a very useful color in a triad. I like to mix in a triad Pearly Maroon, Indantron Blue, and Nickel Hansa Yellow. They work great together, or Queen Gold for the matter. Okay, Ultramarine Blue. I think it's the color, the blue that I use the most. It's a warm blue that is very good for mixing darks. I like to mix it with burnt amber or burnt sienna. I like it more to mix a black from it with burnt amber more than with burnt sienna. I sometimes use it on its own in landscapes. It's very granulating. In landscape, I use it usually for mountains, like faraway mountains, because of its violet tint. It's PB 29. Next color is Cobalt Blue. It's PB 28. It's also very granulated. It's less violet, less warm than Ultramarine Blue. And I like to use it for skies. Fetlow Blue, green shade, a very useful mixing color, and I also use it for skies. You can mix very bright blacks with it if you use warm reds or warm browns, like reddish browns. And yeah, I like it a lot. It's very staining, so I prefer not to use a lot of it. But again, it's a very useful color. I dilute it a little bit because I put too much of it. It's a color that you don't need a lot of it for it to show itself. Also, you'll see later, it is very prone to watermarks, and you can start to see it here. It is made of PB 15 column 3. Next color is Cerulean Blue Pb 35. Daniel Smith one has a lot of binder, but still it's very beautiful. It's very granulating. And I use it for waters and also to create granulating grays with Indian Red or Venetian Red or Lunar Red Rock and so on. It's very beautiful. Cobalt Teal Blue is a very bright cobalt teal. It's more on the range of the greenish cobalt teals. When you mix it with other colors, the colors will separate real quickly because it's very granulating in comparison to other cobalt teals. It is made of PG 50. And I use it more for mystical paintings. Fetlow Blue Turquoise is PB 16. It's a cool blue or turquoise. It's very good for mixing with earthstones, especially with raw sienna and yellow ochres, but also with burnt oranges to create beautiful green oranges or green grays. Put too much water here. It's also prone to watermarks. So when I want to make greenish grays or blues that granulates, or not granulates because it's not a granulating color, but that will have some texture, I put it, and after a few minutes I spray it with this bottle, and then it creates some dots, and it makes beautiful landscapes. Jadeite Genuine is Daniel Smith Primatech color. I really like the Primatechs. They are supposed to be made of crystals. There is a bit of a controversy about it, but I really love the Primatechs. I really love Jadeite Genuine. They're very granulating, very beautiful colors and very useful, especially for landscapes, but not just. Some people say that they don't mix well. I don't agree with that. I really like to mix them with other colors. They create a very interesting texture. So yeah, I like it a lot. We'll see the granulation in a minute. Next color is also a very useful color. It's Pearly Green. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Daniel Smith one, because I also have the Schminka Pearly Green, because my Daniel Smith tube went out. It's a very, very dark green. It is made of pigment PBK 31. It's a very, very good color for mixing, for making darks and moody colors, and for shadows of leaves and trees, and to create beautiful, beautiful black violets with some warm violets or cool purples. It's really, really beautiful. But especially with the Queen Rose and with Permanent Red Violet, it creates really, really beautiful dark violets or dark purples. Oxide Genuine. It's a color that I don't have a lot of time. I think I have it for a year maybe. It's very granulating. It's a grayish green. I like it both as a dark and as a mixing colors, again to create interesting granulating dark violets. It's a bit more yellowish than the Pearly Green, a bit more cool. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Andersee Green is a color that I use a lot. I forgot to say that Oxide Genuine is of course a Primatech. That's why I put the P instead of a pigment number. Okay. So Andersee Green is a convenient mix. It is made of PB 29, which is Ultramarine Blue, PO 48, and PY 150, meaning Ultramarine Blue with Queen Gold. It's a very useful color. I use it a lot in landscapes. It's very beautiful. I really like it. I sometimes mix it on my own to create more variety in it from Ultramarine Blue and Queen Gold, but mostly I use it like that. Green Apatite Genuine is also a Primatech. It's one of the most used green for me. It's very versatile, you will see in a minute. It can be very dark moss green, and I will let it separate so you can see how many colors are in it. One moment. We put some more water. It's a very special color. Serpentine Genuine is also a separating color. It's from the Primatech. It has it's a sappy green which has this pink granulation, warm pink granulation. You'll see it in a minute. I use it a lot for highlights. I sometimes mix it with lemon yellow and use it for highlights in bushes or trees or grass. It's a great color. Monte Amiata natural sienna is one of my most used golden earthstones or yellow ochres. It is made of PBR7. It's a great mixing color and it's great on its own also. It's a really good color. Yellow ochre. Daniel Smith yellow ochre is very good. It's very, very translucent. And it's a more earthy yellow ochre than in other companies. And I work with it a lot. I have many yellow earthstones here because I use them interchangeably in landscapes, and they look different in a painting, and they're great mixing yellows, earth yellows. Raw sienna, PBR7, again a very good mixing color. The three of them are very granulating. I really love them. They're beautiful for me. Next color is titanium gold ochre. It's a schminka color. It's made of PBR24. I like that it's very opaque. It's like gouache in a way. And it's a good mixer for flesh tones with quinacridone rose, or with there are other quinacridones, or with burnt sienna, for example. It's really, really good one. EF, Enviro friendly yellow iron oxide, is made of PBR6. It's more brownish than the real yellow iron oxide. I use it a lot in the triads, more as, of course, a red-brown component. It's very versatile and very beautiful. And it is made in a healthy way for the environment, which is important. It's very granulating. It's very, again, different from the yellow iron oxide, the synthetic one. It looks more natural, and also it's a brown and not a yellow. The yellow iron oxide looks more like Monte Amiata natural sienna, a bit more yellowish, I think. I will do a video or a few videos of the Daniel Smith dot cards, and we will see them more clearly, the differences. Queen Burnt Orange is one of the components of Quinacridone Gold. It's an earthy orange. It's quite smooth, non-granulating color for me. And it has a color shift after it dries. But it's really, really beautiful to make some turquoise when you mix it with blues. It's really, really good color. So when I want a smooth burnt orange, I use this one. Venetian Red is a very opaque color. It's a brick red, like a butter. I like to use it mostly diluted. It has some pinkish, soft pinkish orange tint. You can see it here already. It's very granulating. And I use it for skin tones. And also to make something really soft in landscapes. Indian Red, it is made of PR101. Indian Red is also very opaque color. It's also made of PR101. It's a very useful color. It's very granulating. I work with it a lot. It's very opaque, as you can see. And it's like butter on the page. I use both Indian Red and both Venetian Red and the other color that is here, which is Lunar Red Rock, that is very similar to Indian Red. I use them to mix very interesting grays, very granulating grays, with Cerulean Blue, for example, and also with the Cerulean Blue chromiums. Lunar Red Rock, again, is PR101. It's a bit darker from Indian Red. It's also a bit more transparent, or it's semi-opaque. You will see it here. It's not as opaque as Indian Red. It's very granulating. For some people they will look the same, but for me I see the differences, and I had painted different worms in different cycles of life, and with the three of them, and with titanium gold ochre, and they looked really different from each other. I really like them. Pmontite is a pre-matte color, Pmontite Genuine. It's a bit similar to Lunar Red Rock, but the granulation is different. I really love this color. I like to mix it with Ultramarine Blue and Queen Gold. And I like also to mix it with Sodalite Genuine. It has beautiful red and black granulation. We'll see it in a minute. It's a very beautiful color to create darks, but also on its own. Mahogany Brown is a Schminka color. It's a granulating color. Schminka, most of the colors are very smooth and creamy, but they have some granulating one pigment, single pigment colors, and Mahogany Brown is that. They also have the super granulating range, but it's mostly with 2 or 3 pigments each color. There are just 2 that are one pigment, like the Volcano Yellow and the Volcano Red. But the rest are 2 or 3 pigments colors. Mahogany brown is very beautiful brown. I use it a lot. Another schmink, mahogany brown is PBR 33. Another schminker color, a granulating one, is Potter's Pink. It's I think the best Potter's Pink that I know. I also used Winsor & Newton Potter's Pink, and also Romance Mal with Potter's Pink. And I really think that the Schminker one is the best. It has very low tinting strength, but still I really like it. Next color is smoother and brighter. It's Pearly Maroon of Daniel Smith, PR 179. I forgot maybe to say that Potter's Pink is PR 233. I like to mix Potter Pink with Sodalite. It creates really beautiful colors. Pearly Maroon, it's brighter, but it has some color shift after it dries. I like to use it with Hansa Blue and Nickel Azo Yellow in a triad. It's a very, very beautiful color. I really love it. I don't use it a lot because in triads I usually prefer to use some more granulating earth reds, but still it's a really beautiful color. Queen Burnt Scarlet is also a smooth color, but it's so bright and beautiful. It also has some color shift, but it's so beautiful. I like to use it with Ultramarine Blue and with French Ultramarine, sometimes with Cobalt Blue, and also for earth tones. I'm sorry, not for earth tone, for flesh tones, because it's so smooth. There are rumors about it that it will not be available anymore. I don't know if it's true. If it's true, it would be really sad. Okay, next color is Permanent Brown. It's reddish brown. It's also pretty smooth, but it has something interesting in the texture, like some kind of watermarks, but not exactly. I use it a lot in animal paintings and in landscapes. I like to use it with Sodalite Genuine to create darks. It's almost black when it's with Sodalite Genuine, and also to use it with Queen Gold or Nickel Azo Yellow. Permanent Brown is made of PBR 25. Queen Burnt Scarlet is made of PR 206. And now we'll move to Burnt Sienna. I really love Daniel Smith Burnt Sienna. It's granulating. It has a pink undertone. I really love it. There are other burnt siennas that looks more like PO48 or like Queen Burnt Orange. Daniel Smith Burnt Sienna is more pink and more granulating. I love it a lot. It's a great mixing color. You can make beautiful grays with Ultramarine Blue. There is a convenience color that's called Jane's Gray. It's on the name of the artist who created it. Jane Blundell, which is the most amazing pigment geek in watercolor. I really like her. So it's made of burnt sienna and ultramarine blue, and of course you can mix it also yourself. Burnt sienna is a PBR 7-1. Money Bauxite is a perimeter color of Daniel Smith. It reminds me of burnt sienna, but still I like it also on its own. It's very granulating. It's very beautiful in mixing. I like to use it with Queen Gold and with Ultramarine Blue. Burnt Amber is an amazing color for mixing. I use it a lot to mix blacks with Ultramarine Blue and with Soda Light that we'll see in a minute. It's granulating and it's a great cool neutral. Not really cool, it's a warm neutral, but it's not a reddish brown, it's more a yellowish brown. Raw Amber. Raw Amber is also very beautiful. I like to make some shadows with it, and also to create beautiful greens with Fetlow green and with other greens, with sodalite, with with jadeite genuine and with Fetlow blue turquoise. It's a really good color. It's also granulating, and like burnt amber, it is made of PBR 7. Amber can be very dark, or sometimes use it for trees, far trees in landscapes. For the trunk of the tree, like in I forgot the names of it, so never mind. Okay, another really important color is Hematite burnt Scarlet. I use it also for tree trunks. I like it a lot. It's very versatile. It's very granulating. It's one of the colors that I use the most. It has a little bit of orangish tint, but also black granulation. I use it with Bloodstone Genuine and with Sodalite to make tree trunks. It's a great color. I really like it. Next color is Bloodstone Genuine, also a very good color. It's like a granulating violet-y black, very useful in landscapes. I use it for shadows and as a mixing color, as I said, with Hematite burnt Scarlet. It's a really great color. I really love it. Hematite Violet Genuine is also a Primatech. It's an interesting color. And I also use it sometimes for tree trunks or for shadows. It's close to Bloodstone, but it has a more orange tint. and it's very granulating. It has less power strength than Bloodstone. You'll see in a minute it's very granulating. I use it a lot for shadows. I use it interchangeably with Lunar Violet for shadows. And you can start to see its orange undertone. Cobalt Genuine is one of the colors that I use the most. It's very granulating, it's very beautiful, it's a great mixing color. It can be really dark, and it's very special and beautiful color. So beautiful. I use it to create moody skies, and also was the granulating, dark granulating, mixing blue, dark blue. It's very beautiful. It's very versatile. I really love it. So we will wait for the colors to get dry, and then we'll look at them. So the swatches has dried. Now I will take off the masking tape. And then we can look at the swatches themselves. So satisfying to take off the masking tape and to see the clean lines. Okay, so these are the colors. So you can see that most of the colors are Daniel Smith. There are 3 Schminker colors and 1 Rembrandt colors. As you can see, half of the colors are S-tones, and there is not a big variety between some of them, but I like them all, so I wanted them. As you can see, many colors are granulating, and a lot of are Primatex from Daniel Smith. It's this travel watercolor set I take to cafes, to the park, to paint, and I really like it. By the way, this page is Archie's Cold Press, and yeah, I really enjoyed swatching it, and I hope you like the color I like to take away with me. Have a nice time, enjoy, and great blessings.